Hello and welcome to Newts News, your weekly roundup for all of Star Citizen news in one place. Made for the members of the Eden Directive and the wider Star Citizen community. This is an extension of the existing written Newts News on the Eden Direct subreddit. Made possible with the help of Arctos, it'll give you the opportunity to get your news in a different way, and possibly a bit more of my opinion. So let's dive straight in with Arena Commander and the news that version 0.9, which was due out this week, has once again been delayed. This is no real surprise due to the fact that we're quite used to delays with Star Citizen, and it's been cited that there are many bugs along with other issues which generally have caused the game not to be as polished as they would expect. Also, the leaderboards apparently are churning out data which is not necessarily the right one, so obviously they want to get that sorted before. Ships, and the Aurora has been confirmed as the most popular ship, almost 2 times as many Auroras as there are to the next most popular ship, which is the 300i, and it goes down from there. So then there are less Hornets, and then there are less. Basically, if it costs more, there's less of them, which shows an interesting comparison with our own organisation, which seems to have a lot more expensive ships. Also, there has been a limited edition racing Mustang offered for Star Citizen in partnership with AMD. Yes, if you buy a certain AMD graphics card, you will be given a limited ship package which has a racing Mustang variant. This is the only way you can gain it prior to the Persistent Universe. However, the ship will be available in the Persistent Universe. It actually looks quite nice. It's the Mustang but with a nice red shiny glossy view on it. You can see the photos online. It's not too bad, but probably not necessarily worth getting an AMD graphics card because I prefer Nvidia, but we won't get into that one. I'll start wars. I think wars have been started on less. There was a very limited surprise ship sale this week. For a whole 40 seconds, you could buy an LTI M50 and even a Xi'an scout ship. It was a mistake on Turbulence part, but Ben Lesnick was actually on video call at the time and was being tweeted as they fucked it up, so they managed to plug the gap quite quickly. But apparently a few people did manage to get the LTI M50, which is rather impressive. Bit of Persistent Universe news now, and Chris Roberts has shed a little bit more light on jump points. Jump points are going to vary in size, so some jump points will not allow larger ships, whereas other jump points will allow the larger ones. This could create some interesting dynamics with regards to trade routes and specific lanes, and also even patrolling, especially for the organisation. If we're planning to hold an area, then it would be quite interesting. Well, we won't be expecting any constellations to jump out of certain jump points, so it's quite interesting to see the difference between them and how that will affect the game. A bit of account news: the customer service have given every backer of Star Citizen basically an item in your hangar which will reset your handle, so you can rename your handle to something else. Therefore, we do not have to see big titties in the game, which I don't care too much, but I'm sure Alex might eventually. I think he wants to call it like sheepfucker or something like that, I'm sure. Anyway, quite a bit of development news. Chris Roberts is hopeful that we might actually see the multi-cruise ships implemented at the end of this year. However, he has mentioned that it is reliant on getting the 64-bit double precision working, as really for larger ships you're going to need larger map areas. So as we've seen this week, where it was almost guaranteed bar the slight problem, and we're seeing now, I think it's going to be the same kind of thing at the end of the year, probably looking more towards the start of 2015. We might start to see the first iteration of the multi-cruise ships. Still, it's sooner than I think some people were expecting, so that's good news. 3D voice chat with new audio tech Star Citizen or CIG is working on. We'll be seeing a lot of different ways that audio works within the game. If you wear a helmet, for example, your voice will be more muffled. In a large room, it'll echo, and there's many other differences, such as location, as to where you will find your voice change and audio change. This is definitely something which I am looking forward to, so long as they keep the mute button for Ezekiel and Delgato. More racetracks are incoming from the UK team. Very excited to see that CIG will be supporting this game and this race mode as soon as it launches. I think that's very important for the race mode, as just having one track to go around will not be that exciting, but having multiple tracks will definitely help. And finally, and in my opinion most importantly, we finally have an Idris. Woo! Woo! Sorry, I know that's probably gone really loud, but I do not care, and Idris is something that I've been wanting for a long, long time now, and thank goodness, we finally have one. I do not have to say, buy me an Idris anymore. Instead, it'll be now likely, buy me a Bengal, though I'm pretty sure you cannot buy one of these. But a massive thanks to Arctos for helping us with the Idris for the organisation. This is absolutely fantastic news for us. It means that we'll get we'll be able to try different game modes, and we'll be able to start working much more as a team once it eventually comes out. But I get the captain's quarters, just saying. Also, there's much more information to come, so keep an eye on the subreddit where we will discuss this more. And the last but not least news is that due to co-op eventually beginning, we are going to begin with the Sunday co-op. Every week, every Sunday, we're going to be looking at have a co-op session for Arena Commander. This is going to vary on times, but for example, this Sunday it will be 9 PM to 12 PM UTC. I'm just keeping it at UTC. It is your job to find out exactly what time that's going to be. But I just think this will be a fantastic opportunity for us all to get to know one another and start to play the game and get to work out a little bit more about how teamwork goes in this game. It's going to be something different than Guns of Icarus, if you ask me. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. Feedback is always appreciated, especially in the new format. So if you could give us some feedback on that, that would be fantastic. Thank you for listening and fly safe. Bollocks. I need to work on a better sign-off. I don't want to say see you in the verse.